I'm looking at my options for a retaining wall. These are some brick and no, these are all stone papers here, as it happens. I haven't downloaded just brick paper. I've looked at the brick paper, and double O gauge scale bricks at a distance are very difficult to discern. So I'm looking at stone paper, and that's O gauge, which you can see there, right? It's on the video, you can see it as such. See how much that stone is just blending into one colour with some sort of texture. These have been downloaded from railwayscenics.com, and somewhere you see it's easy to lose it amongst all your modelling materials. I've got some of the commercially produced ones, but I'm going to have a go first of all at a quick and dirty solution. Let me explain. I also looked at textured plastic card from, you know, Scenics range, Will Scenics or something else. But the you need a substrate, and plywood will do. But here's some hardwood that I thought I would use as a substrate, and that shows you what the incline is. So that's my incline on this bit of the railway, that taper there. But then I looked at this hardboard. You can see it's got some texture on it, and I remembered something from 55 years ago. And here is the technique. It's probably predates 55 years ago. This is the hardboard, the textured side up, painted with a mix I've made of something that for me approaches brick red. And so what we've got is a textured surface. I'm not sure how I would bring out something that looks like cement on there, but I'm going to try a little bit of weathering onto that. I'm going to put it in place and see what it looks like. So this is what I'm calling a quick and dirty solution, but bear in mind that I was going to use the hardboard anyway as the backing, and then have to use some you know, scenic paper or something to cover it, and abutments and all sorts of things like that. And I'm going to see how this looks in situ first of all. Nothing lost, and it's now down to my various ability to let's say give it a sense of weathering that might make it look a little bit more like a brick retaining wall. I've just realised I should have set up a camera on a tripod so you could see me doing the flicking of the brush, and it's like that lovely guy that does the paintings, poor lad. So what we got, something which approximates a brown, a crown sample pot, a primary green, and then dry brush technique almost onto the wall. Maybe that looks a bit obviously like a splodge of paint. There we are. I'm just trying to blend that in a little bit there, just using a pretty dry brush. And so what you've got, I'm going to have sort of pillars up this as well, but there we've got the additional bits of colour onto it, and as I get closer you will see that this is just textured hardboard with a bit of red paint. I'm going to try it in situ and we'll see what we think. But before we try it in situ, here it is in full bright sunlight rather than this the poor shed lighting. Whoa, with some wind, it's a bit windy today. I have to hold it. And so you can see in brightness of sun what it looks like there. Obviously I'm holding the camera closer than we would be from a normal viewing position as trains are going round, but that's my quick and dirty retaining wall. I'm going to let it dry out here now, have a cup of tea and then try it in situ. You won't know that because the next clip you'll see is of it in situ. Well, there's my quick and dirty retaining wall. I did cut it short because my intention is to put another bit of wall on the top. And what you see at either end, here's some brick paper from a commercial manufacturer. From this distance that I'm holding the camera, you can't see the individual bricks, you get an impression of it. And at the other end is some blue brick paper that was on something. Don't know what that was. So engineering brick, I call it blue brick, but engineering brick, as you can see, it's grey brick. Yep, that's meant to be brick. I think the bricks are different sizes actually. They shouldn't be. They should be 3 by 9 by 4. Yes, and there's a particular bond there. That's Flemish bond on that one. That's what's it? Just straight English. What's the simple bond called? The standard bond. So there we go. And as I zoom in on that one, you'll see it. You can't see a bond in it. What you get is the texture of the hardboard, giving that sort of representation of brick. And from a distance, it's looking okay to me. Remember that for 10 years or so, I've been running trains around here with nothing there. No embankments leading up to there. And if you take that, I've been running trains around with that. The scenic section was in the station, and even in this, I've hacked the scenics about a bit. And so this is a dramatic improvement or significant improvement over what the trains have been running around in the shed on and off for a few years. Well, it might be more than 10 years. And I'm just walking backwards now. If anything, it's a bit intense in comparison to the colouring of the viaduct, and could do with being toned down a little bit. But that's, you know, I'm not sure how easily that would be achieved now that it's in that sort of condition. Now to look at fixing it so that it's doing its job. Well, I'm just adding the parapet, not weathered it in, it's just painted in the straightforward brick colour that I mixed. And I was looking at some vertical reinforcing things. If I block it off like that. And in fact, I don't like it. I've looked at it, I don't like it. I have seen a retaining wall, a railway retaining wall in red engineering brick, which is what I'm going to assume that is. And it doesn't have any vertical things on it at all. So what I might do is just put one piece at the end to finish the wall off at the end and leave it like that. So yes, maybe a bit of weathering discoloration on that parapet and no vertical thing to break it up, just a continuous nice sweep all the way around, and that then is better than what was there before. And as I say, what I call my quick and dirty solution, I think that's definitely quicker than building it out of brick paper overlaid onto something, or even brick card or plastic card. So there it is with the piers added at the ends and the coping stones made out of a mixture of balsa wood for those ones, and that's stripwood. I don't know if it's called basswood or whatever, but it's stripwood. Actually, it came as when I was doing some aircraft modelling for flying aircraft. It was something for building airframes out of. Only a few bits left. So there we are. That's the retaining wall done using this hardboard, the textured side out. And I'm just going to zoom in. You can see the effect from a distance, which I'm reasonably pleased with. If I zoom in, you can see the texture in the hardboard. There's the pier at the end. I've just touched up the pier with some red, which is why that red looks a bit brighter there. And that's just dry brushing and some chalk, just chalk applied to look like deliquescence from the bricks. Oh, is that a run on there? I think there's a bit of a run on there. Good job I was doing the picture image, isn't it? I was just touching up that corner, take the run off it. And that's it. Now, the retaining wall. Better than what was there before, and just gives the impression from a distance of a retaining wall. Look, that's not prototypical. You wouldn't have a retaining wall like that above a viaduct. Completely, what would I say? Well, it's not just unlikely, it just wouldn't happen. But I fancied having a viaduct in there and put one in. So it's not done to be a prototypical type of arrangement. And it's little things, even the landform around this isn't prototypical. And you wouldn't necessarily get a culvert underneath the tracks like that. But that's how it's turned out. And just at the end of this prolonged video, I need to put some brown paint on there. That's the back scene visible through the arches. Here's some of the modelling materials, and that's another bit of back scene that I've printed out just to tidy up that end there. And I can begin to just add little bits more of the scenic treatment and look at what else I want to do around the canal lock to give me that little scenic corner. Oh,